Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Valenti. I'm the Assistant Dean of Graduate Student Affairs at the Graduate School of Montclair State University. I'm here to talk to you about the assistantship program here at Montclair, to describe a little bit about it and to help you know how you can apply for it if you're eligible. The first thing that I want to tell you is that the assistantship program is an employment experience which is designed to be complementary to your degree program and eventual career goals. It's designed to not only enhance the student experience, but to support your specific academic achievement goals. You'll have the opportunity to collaborate with student, faculty, and/or staff, depending on the exact nature of the position you may be offered. Weekly service hours, that's the number of hours you will work per week, are given to a university unit in exchange for a commensurate compensation package. That could be tuition remission, it could be stipend, it could be both. Graduate students who formerly held a master's level assistantship at Montclair State are not eligible for another master's level assistantship. So if this is your second time coming back to Montclair for a second master's and you already had an assistantship, you won't be eligible for a second one. Another important thing to know is that only 10% of the total graduate student population will receive an offer for an assistantship. So what would an assistantship look like? Well, there are a number of different kinds of assignments. You might receive an assignment to do instructional support, which is a TA, a teaching assistant, where you would assist a particular faculty member with course or courses. You might do research with a particular faculty member in the area of their expertise. You might offer administrative help, especially if it dovetails nicely with the kind of work you hope to do, or educational support in something like the tutoring center or the Center for Writing Excellence. The contract terms are normally a full year, meaning a full academic year. It is usually September through June. Reappointments are likely, but not guaranteed. At the end of your first year, if you are returning to school the following year, you are likely to receive a renewal based on your performance for the past year. Occasionally, we have one semester contracts available. That is normally because someone has either graduated mid-year or they've had to resign for personal reasons or something like that. It's not that common to have one semester assignments. And as I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, the compensation may include a stipend. That means pay. That means basically money, or tuition and related fees. It does not necessarily mean all of your tuition. An offer comes with a specific number of tuition remission credits, and you may be offered, if you get the job, something like 18 credits, and you may take 24. You would pay the difference. I just want to be clear with that. It also pays associated fees with tuition. Not all your fees, not personal fees like health insurance or housing or parking or anything like that, but fees associated with your tuition. So you may be asking yourself, am I eligible for an assistantship? Well, first of all, you need to be fully matriculated into a degree program. A degree means master's or doctoral program, not certificates or certifications. Those are not degrees. You need to have had an admissions decision already. You need to have been accepted. The minimum incoming or current GPA is master's 3.0, doctoral 3.2. So if you're coming straight from undergrad, for example, those are the GPAs that you must have. Or if you're coming straight from a master's program into a doctoral program, that's the GPA that you must have. If you are continuing at Montclair from one year to the next, you still have had to maintain those GPAs to be renewed. There are a number of term limits. Master's level assistantships are maxed at 4 semesters and doctoral assistantships at 8 semesters. So that's generally 2 academic years or 4 academic years. And assistantships are not available to students seeking a certificate or certification only, as I mentioned, students who are doing their student teaching, students who are maintaining a non-degree status. So if you're taking courses but have not yet been fully accepted into a program, that's non-degree status, or students who are in a fully online-only program. How do you apply for an assistantship? Once you've been accepted into a graduate degree program, you will receive a link to an online application. You'll receive an email. In that email, it will tell you the next steps you need to take for continuing your progress into being a fully matriculated student, and you will be sent a link to apply for the assistantship program should you decide to do so. Does an assistantship impact other funding eligibility? Well, you cannot have another position at MSU if your assistantship is 20 hours per week, because no graduate assistants may work more than 20 hours a week at a university position. So if you happen to have an assistantship that only requires 10 hours a week, then you would be able to have another job on campus for another 10 hours a week. For positions outside of MSU, there is not the 20-hour-a-week maximum, but you do need to seek approval from the graduate school first. Second jobs will never come before your assistantship. So if we approve you to be a waitress on the weekends in your hometown, for example, you would never be allowed to say, can I switch my hours? I'm not going to come in tomorrow because my other job needs me to come in unexpectedly, that sort of thing. You're a student first and a graduate assistant second. Financial aid. Financial aid does consider the value of tuition and fee remission when determining eligibility for aid. So in other words, before they decide how much of a loan you are eligible for, they will take into account how much of your tuition and fees are being covered. And so therefore, acceptance of an assistantship may impact your award. When and how will I know? Well, in general, and this is not an exact science, supervisors begin looking to fill their openings in late October if they have a spring semester opening, and usually in April for the fall semester. Some will start looking earlier than that. Some may reach out to find out your interest before that, but generally formal offers are not made until after April or May. You should know that each department handles its own interviews and selection of students. The departments then submit their recommendation for a graduate assistant to the graduate school, or TGS. And then the graduate school manages the hiring process. If you are recommended for a position, you will hear from the graduate school with an offer letter with all the information, and it will be the graduate school to whom you send back a signed work agreement. No offer is official unless or until you receive a formal offer letter and contract from TGS. Please, please know that. TGS's official form of communication is email. Failure to check your Montclair email address will not be a sufficient reason to not apply or to not respond to an offer. On-campus employment. The graduate school will advertise job opportunities for on-campus positions when requested to do so by other departments. We do not keep our own list of employment opportunities, but we absolutely will distribute to either all graduate students or graduate students in specific programs if requested by a campus employer. Many opportunities for campus employment are in Handshake. That is our platform for student employment. If you want an on-campus job, you click on Handshake, you go to jobs, you go to on campus, and then you start to look at what's available and what help can be offered through the Handshake platform. In addition, there are a number of units on campus that do a fairly large amount of hiring because they are large operations. And therefore, if you are not given an assistantship or not given a full assistantship requiring 20 hours, I encourage you not only to look on Handshake, but to potentially look at some of these departments on campus: Residence Life, Recreation Center, the Center for Academic Success and Tutoring, and the Yogi Berra Museum and Learning Center, if you have any interest in working in those types of environments. And you may contact us at gradstudentservices@montclair.edu. That's gradstudentservices@montclair.edu, or call us on the phone at 973-655-5205. Visit us anytime on the web. We will move into a question and answer period now. I ask you just to be patient for a minute or two while the Q&A is set up, and you will have an opportunity to put your questions in the chat. Please do not ask specific questions about you, your eligibility, your GPA, etc. This is not the forum in front of hundreds of students to discuss your personal matters. You instead should call or email us and we can help you with your particular things. But if there's something that was not understood about the general process for applying and hopefully receiving a graduate assistantship, please feel free to ask those questions in the chat, along with questions that have to do with anything that was discussed in the first part of this program. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in September.